Hi friends, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to chat all about our trip down in Vancouver. Alright, so the only thing we're going to talk about on this video is how Connor's eye surgery went and the different things that came up and how he's doing, recovery, all those details. So to begin with, if you have been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that we were waiting for this surgery to come and it finally happened. Quite a few videos ago, so about 2 years ago, Connor got diagnosed with something called DVD, or disordered vertical deviation, so where his one eye wandered. And so that was his left eye. And most of the time with this DVD, it would wander to the center and his eye would wander up. And I was recently told that's actually really, really hard to fix. So, to kick things off, we had the surgery. It went really, really, really well. I'll start from the beginning. So we went in for his pre-anesthetic checkup, just to go over how they were going to put him to sleep and how they were going to insert the IV, all those things. And because Connor has arthrogryposis in his arms, he got blood work done once, and that was an awful experience because the veins are so hard to find in his tiny little arms that it took multiple pokes and digging around to find a vein. That poor boy screamed. And if you had blood work done and an intravenous put in, y'all know that an intravenous is a lot bigger than a blood work needle. So anyway, that was what I was most anxious about when it came to going in with this surgery. And so when they explained how they were going to do things, I had asked them about the whole intravenous thing. And the anesthetic doctor told me, don't worry, what we do is the moment the child comes in, they put numbing cream on both hands and both feet. And then they use an ultrasound to find the vein. And then we have the option of pre-gassing him before they find the vein, so he's already kind of conked out, and we did go with that option. So before they even put in the IV, they put numbing cream on all limbs, and then they put a gas mask on him, and then they found the IV. And that was just so great for us to know as he went into surgery. So the surgery itself took about 30 to 45 minutes. It wasn't long at all. And by the time he woke up and was back in recovery, Brent had gone in, because if you watched my previous video, I stayed back at the room with our baby because it was a long day for her at the hospital 2 days prior to that, and she needed a normal day. And some other things that I'm not going to go into detail about because that's not the point. I stayed back at the room, so I was not at the hospital. So Brent went back in, and then he FaceTimed me so I could be there as he woke up, and Connor had a really, really hard time waking up as his eye was scratchy and he was still super, super drowsy, as you are if you've experienced anesthetic and waking up from it. But they couldn't discharge him until they could look into his eye, and that's a problem if you don't want to open said eye. But anyway, after he finally opened his eye, Brent brought him back to our room, and he sat there and he he listened to Paw Patrol on the iPhone, and he had kept his eyes closed for most of the evening. It was actually his sweet sister Lillian that convinced him to open his eyes, because I went to give her a bath, and I said, Connor, do you want to watch me give Lily a bath? And yes, that he really wanted to do. So he came to the bathroom, and then he managed to open his eye to look at his sweet baby sister. So that was really, really sweet. But anyway, the next day they had his post-op check, and the eye doctor was really pleased with how everything had gone down. His right eye was starting to wander some, which is a possibility when they do this surgery. If they do one side, they'll notice it in the other as well. But it was such a slight wander that she said sometimes they don't even do anything about it and it'll work itself out. So it's just a waiting game for now. But he had done really, really well. A couple weeks later, we had a follow-up check with the ophthalmologist closer to home. And that ophthalmologist said, and if you understand how eye things work from a doctor's perspective, Before his surgery, they would use prisms to see what would make his eye go straight. And it was prism number 20 that they always use, and that finally made his eye like focus properly. And now they were up to prism number 6. So I guess that's a really good thing. And they're going to have to do another surgery just to get it straighter, because like I said, this is a really hard diagnosis to actually fix, but they're going to do their best. So there is going to be another eye surgery in the future, but it's not going to be for quite a while because it's not that big of a need, and if his eye is doing really well, then they're okay with it. But it will be in the future, but within the next few years. But anyway, we've also noticed, like, when he uses his eye, his left eye wanders a lot less. So it's really good to see. If his glasses are off, it still does, but his glasses really bring it back to the center. And so we are really encouraged with that. We are continuing wearing glasses 100% full time, and eye patching his good eye 2 hours every single day to strengthen the eye they did surgery on. After his surgery, we had to do eye drops 4 times a day for 1 week, and then twice a day for another. And that was quite a fight to get those eye drops into his eye, but it was preventative measures so that it wouldn't get infected. And for the first few times, we had to fight him to put the eye drop in, and it was really, really hard for us to do. But then he did really good. And by the time he was actually done using the eye drops, he asked for them. So that was really cool. He couldn't get his eye wet for a full month afterwards. So bathing, we had to be very, very careful. We couldn't take him swimming. And now he's a month post-surgery. So we took him swimming yesterday, and he had such a good time at the pool. He really, really enjoyed that. And it was so much fun to take him and to have a family day together. But yeah, that about sums up how his surgery went. If you know me personally and you were praying for him, we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. We felt the prayers, and they were a huge help, as Connor did so good. His recovery was perfect, and we are just so incredibly thankful. So that was all his eye stuff. Talking about his hands and his arms and dentistry, because we taught pediatric dentistry. They also went in surgery just to do x-rays and to clean. And we're getting those x-rays back in a couple of weeks. We haven't gotten them back yet. And then with his arms, for upper extremities, we saw the orthopedic surgeon down at St. Paul's. And he said at this time, they want to see Connor a little bit more frequent just to watch what his arms will do, because he is getting to the age where they'll want to do the tricep to bicep surgery to make his arm stronger, but there wasn't quite enough muscle mass to do that surgery. So right now we're focusing on getting those muscles built, different kinds of play, strengthening his arms. Anything that'll put pressure on his arms where he's pushing on them is really, really good play. Oh, what else did we do down in Vancouver? It seems like we were there, we were there all week, but it was his eyes, dentistry, ophthalmology, but eyes was the main one. So other than that, right now we're just waiting. We're continuing with physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, the odd checkup with the clubfoot doctor, so the lower extremities orthopedic surgeon, the odd checkup with his upper extremities orthopedic surgeon, and the every few months checkup with the ophthalmologist that flies down here from Vancouver. But he is doing so good. So that is going to be all for today's video. It wasn't very long, and I wanted to keep it short and sweet, as my time is a little bit different these days. I don't have much time to sit down and record and talk to you guys, but I really wanted to get this video out so you have an idea of how our trip went down in Vancouver, because I know a lot of you have been following me from the Arthrogryposis group on Facebook, and I wanted to show you or share with you how everything went down. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Stay tuned for more videos coming out in the future. So hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications, so you don't miss any new content that comes up. And I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye, guys.